Hello students. Okay. Welcome to history class. The French Revolution, part number 6, page number 22. The Revolution and Everyday Life. How was everyday life going on after the French Revolution? Let us discuss in this session. The first one is the revolution and everyday life. Can politics change the clothes people wear, the languages they speak, or the books they read? The years following 1789 in France saw many such changes in the lives of men, women, and children. After the French Revolution, there was a drastically changes. There was a revolutionary changes in the everyday life of people, everyday life of men, women, and children. What was the changes? What was the changes we can see in the after the French Revolution? The first one is a politic change. The politics, can politics change? The clothes of wear, the people they wore different type of clothes wear, and the language they speak. The language also changes, or the books they read. The people they were reading the book after the revolution in the years of following 1789 in France. So many such changes in the lives of men, women, and children. The revolutionary governments after the 1789, the France Revolution, which was led between the king and the common people, the revolutionary governments took it upon themselves to pass laws that would translate the ideas of liberty and equality into everyday practice. The revolutionary government, which government? Which government? The revolutionary government after the 1789? Which government? National Assembly. There was a National Assembly, a new government, national government came into existence after the 1789. Okay, and next to revolutionary government took it upon themselves to pass laws. There was a number of laws were passed by revolutionary government that would translate the ideas of liberty and equality into everyday practice. This new government, which government? New government after 1789 government would translate the ideas of liberty, ideas of liberty and next to ideas of liberty and next equality. The people they were practicing in everyday life after the French Revolution. This new government provided these facilities to the common people. Which facilities? Fraternity, freedom, liberty. There was a revolution which took place. As a result of revolution, a new government provided these equality and fraternity to everyday life practice. Dina ರೂಢಿ ಆಯಿತು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಏನನ್ನ ideas of liberty and ideas of equality. One important law that came into effect soon after the storming of the Bastille in summer 1789. As we discussed in the beginning of class, when was Bastille stormed? Bastille was stormed 1789 July 14. 1789 July 14, the Bastille was formed. Why? Because there was a rumor spread. The food price is increased. Food price was increased, and next to king had ordered troops move into the city. These are all the rumors spread across the Europe, across the France. As a result of these rumors, all the men and women storming the Bastille in the summer of 1789. In the summer of 1799 was the abolition of censorship. Censorship, which means the government provided. Abolition of censorship, which means censorship means the government restricted the newspaper, freedom of expression and plays, music, national anthems, national patriotic songs. This is called censorship. ಅಂದರೆ ಇವ್ರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಪೀಪಲ್ ಏನು, ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ದೇ ವರ್ ನಾಟ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್, ದೇ ವರ್ ನಾಟ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್, and also the people could not question against the government. These are all the restrictions were called as censorship. These are all the restrictions. Censorship ಅಂದರೆ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋ ಹಕ್ಕಿತ್ತು. There was no right to talk about the people, about the government. The Bastille in the summer 1799 was the abolition of censorship. As a result of Bastille, it was damaged by, it was vanished by the people. As a result of Bastille, the king Louis XVI, he was the king of France, he abolished the censorship. The abolition of censorship. Abolition of censorship. Censorship. The abolition of censorship. Okay, why was censorship abolished? Because the people vanished the Bastille of summer in 1789. In the old regime, all written material and cultural activities, books, newspaper, plays could be published or performed only after they had been approved by the censors of the king. Note, in the old regime, before 1789, there was a French revolution took place in the old regime, which means before Louis 15th, Louis 16th. In this period, ಇವರ old regime ಅಂದರೆ ಹಳೆ ಇವ್ರನ್ನ old regime ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. In this old regime, all written material and cultural activities, all written material and next written all written materials and next cultural activities, cultural activities, these two. The first one is written material, Louis 15, and next to 16. This was called as old regime. It was called as old regime during the period of Louis 15, Louis 14, Louis 16. It was called as old regime. All written material and cultural activities. Which are the cultural activities? Books. Next to newspaper, and next to plays, whatever it plays, athletics or any other plays, ಆಟಗಳು. Next, newspaper, books could be published or performed only after they had been approved by the censors of the king. These are all, whatever it. If we in the French old regimes, you think about, you feel, ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. We have to take permission from king. We have to take permission. If we publish the books, we have to take permission from king. If we publish the newspaper, we have to take the permission from king. And plays also we have to take permission from king. Okay na? All the books, newspaper, plays, right? Could be published or performed. Had been. These are all had been. Cultural activities, written material, cultural activities such as book, newspaper, plays had been approved by the old regime of Louis 16, Louis 15 or 16 before 1789. But now the Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizens proclaimed freedom of speech and expression to be a natural gift. Here, next after the 1789, this is the old regime situation. Next after 1789, new government came into existence. New constitution came into existence, it declared, the new government, it declared know the declaration of rights of man, rights of man and citizen, rights of man and citizen, rights of man and citizens. These two rights of man and citizens proclaimed freedom of speech and expression. Freedom of speech, rights of man and citizen, freedom of speech, and next one is expression, freedom of expression, freedom of expression. These are two called as natural gift, which were called as natural gift of freedom of speech and freedom of opinion. These were called as natural gift. According to natural gift, this was statement which was given by Rousseau, the famous father of French Revolution. He wrote one book, Social Contract. In this book, he expressed that the freedom of speech and freedom of expression against the government, against the any people, we whatever we want, the way of want we have to the way of want we taught, the way of want we talked. Okay, ಮಾತನಾಡಬಹುದಿತ್ತು. Okay, and next when after the declaration of rights, after the French Revolution, freedom of speech, expression to be a natural right. Newspaper, pamphlets, books and printed pictures flooded the towns of France from where they traveled rapidly into the countryside. And newspaper the first one is newspaper, pamphlets, books, next one is books, newspaper, pamphlets, books. These there was a censorship abolished by the revolutionary government. That's why the people, they had a right to talk, they had a right to expression, they had a right to speech. ಓಕೆನಾ, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ವರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಗಿಫ್ಟ್, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, right to man and citizens, these were called as natural gift which was given by revolutionary government. But a right to vote which was given only for men, not women, just as we discussed in the last class. And next, when these censorship abolished, this was called as Spencer. When was censorship practiced? In the old regime, but in the 1789 it was abolished, censorship. Next, the new government, it introduced, it provided all the people right of man and citizen, freedom of speech, freedom of expression. They are called as natural gift. That's why newspaper, pamphlets, books and printed pictures, print ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ಗಳು flooded the towns of France, from where they traveled rapidly into the countryside. Here the newspaper, pamphlets, books, all these materials flooded ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರವಾಹದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ flooded from France to all these, from France to where they traveling to countryside, which means villages, ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವು ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ. they all, ಓಕೆನಾ, which were newspaper, pamphlets, books and printed pictures flooded the towns of France, from where they traveled rapidly into the countryside. rapidly into the countryside. And next they all described and discussed the events and changes taking place in France. The people, they were reading, while they were reading, they were describing about the French revolutionary government, what changes had been taken place after the revolution in France. The people, they were discussing and they were describing, ಹೊಗಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ನ್ಯೂ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ. ದ ನ್ಯೂ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡೆಡ್, a new government which provided ಏನೇನು ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ? ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್, ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಟಿಜನ್, ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್, ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್. These are all were provided by government. The people ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅವರು? They all described and discussed in the countryside also. A new government came into existence. It was one of the favor of people. ಜನರ ಪರವಾಗಿದೆ, ರೈಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ರೆಜಿಮ್. In the old regime there was a censorship. The people who did not write any newspaper, who did not publish any newspaper without the permission of old regime, they could not publish, they could not read any newspaper, book, place. But in the new government here, by the other hand, new government all provided, ಏನನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ? ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್, ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ citizen, rights of speech, rights of expression, all were provided by new government. The people, they were discussing in the countryside and describing about the new government. ಹೊಸ ಸರ್ಕಾರವನ್ನು ಹೊಗಳಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ದ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಏನನ್ನ? ದ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್. ವಾಟ್ ವರ್ ದ ಚೇಂಜಸ್? ದ ಲೂಯಿ 16th, he was prisoned in the Tuileries prison. And next, what were the changes? ಏನಾಗಿದೆ? The new rights of man, rights of citizen, freedom of speech, freedom of expression came into existence. The people, they were discussing changes taking place in France. Freedom of the press also meant that opposing views of events could be expressed. Freedom of press, which meant that opposing views and events could be expressed. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾಯಿತು. ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಮೀನ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕುಡ್ ಬಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ಡ್. ಏನು ಘಟನೆಗಳ ವಿರುದ್ಧ, ಏನಾದರೂ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ನಾವು ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯವನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸಬಹುದಾಯಿತು ನ್ಯೂ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ. ಓಕೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ವಿಚ್ ವಾಸ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್, the people could oppose the policy, oppose the event which was introduced by new government. This is the right to speech, right to expression which was given by new revolutionary government. The people were very happy. And next could be expressed, each side sought to convince the others of its position through the medium of print. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಈಚ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಬ್ರಿಗೊಬ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರನ್ನ ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಮೀಡಿಯಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್. ಇದು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವುದರಿಂದ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಮೀಡಿಯಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್. ಪ್ಲೇಸ್, ಸಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಷನ್ಸ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಪೇಪರ್. ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ನಡೀತದೆ, ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಟಗಳು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಾಂಗ್ಸ್, ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಮೆರವಣಿಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಪೀಪಲ್ಸ್ ಹಬ್ಬದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಷನ್, ಹಬ್ಬದ ಮೆರವಣಿಗೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ನ ಕೂಡ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಿಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಒನ್ ವೇ ದೇ ಕುಡ್ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ಪ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ವಿತ್ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಒನ್ ವೇ, ಗ್ರಾಸ್ಪ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ವಿತ್ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಸಚ್ ಆಸ್ ಲಿಬರ್ಟಿ ಆರ್ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ that political philosopher wrote about at length in texts which only handful of educated people could read. Okay, this was one way they could grasp ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾಯಿತು. and next ಗ್ರಹಿಸಬಹುದಾಯಿತು and identify with ideas of liberty and justice, ಇವುಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಅದರ್ ಸೈಡ್, ಒನ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಏನಾಯಿತು? ಒನ್ ಸೈಡ್ the people, those who were illiterate, ಅಂದರೆ those who were not, ಅಂದರೆ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಓದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾರಿಲ್ಲೋ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾಯಿತು? ದೇ ಕುಡ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ವಿತ್ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿಬರ್ಟಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್. ಬಟ್ ಅದರ್ ಸೈಡ್, ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಫಿಲಾಸಫರ್ ರೋಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅ ಲೆಂತ್ ಇನ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ಸ್, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಲೆಂತ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್, ಲಿಬರ್ಟಿಗಳ ಅವಳ ಒಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು? ದೇ ವರ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ importance about the justice, freedom, fraternity and liberty. Only handful of educated people could read. ಇವನ್ನ ಯಾರನ್ನ ಓದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಯಿತು? It was only could read for educated people. By the other hand, illiterate people, what they had to do? ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು ಹಂಗಾದ್ರೆ? they were hearing the medium of plays, songs and festive procession. Okay, this is the revolutionary and everyday life. Next to conclusion, finally, Napoleon Bonaparte. Who was Napoleon Bonaparte? Napoleon Bonaparte was one of the great emperor. He ruled over from 16 years, about 16 years. 16 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಫ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ನ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ನಡೆದ. ಯಾರು? ನೆಪೋಲಿಯನ್ ಬೋನಪಾರ್ಟಿ. ವಾಸ್ ನೆಪೋಲಿಯನ್ ಬೋನಪಾರ್ಟಿ. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನೆಪೋಲಿಯನ್ ಬೋನಪಾರ್ಟಿ ನೆಪೋಲಿಯನ್ Bonaparte 1804 to 1850. Okay, he was the emperor of France. After the directory government was dethroned in 1799, Napoleon gained power over the France. And next to, when was Napoleon born? Napoleon was born 1769 August 59. Ajaccio city of Corsica island of Mediterranean Sea. Where was Mediterranean Sea? Which lies between ಯುರೋಪ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ರಿಕಾ. ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಇಟಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅಜಾಸಿಯಾ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇವನು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ. ಹಿಸ್ ಫಾದರ್ ಚಾರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಬೋನೋಪಾರ್ಟಿ, ಹಿಸ್ ಮದರ್ ಲೆಟೇಷಿಯಾ ರೊಮೇನಿಯಾ. ಫೈನಲಿ he educated people. He was educated by his father. ಇವರ ತಂದೆಯಿಂದ ಇವನು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣವನ್ನು ಪಡೆದ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ನೆಪೋಲಿಯನ್, he was trying to attack against the throne of France. Finally, it was come in the year of 1799. He controlled over the French Revolution and he ascended throne in the year of 1799. Napoleon Bonaparte crowned himself Emperor of France. Next, after 1804, he had become Emperor of France. He had become Emperor of France. Who had become Emperor of France? Napoleon himself crowned Emperor of France. He set out to conquer neighboring European countries, dispossessing dynasties and creating kingdoms where he placed a member of his army. He set out to conquer neighboring European countries. Here, just imagine, this is Europe. Actually, this is Mediterranean Sea. This is Africa. This is Mediterranean Sea. And next, this is Italy. Napoleon was born here, Corsica island of Ajaccio city. This is Spain, Portugal, next France, next England, next here German, next Austria, next this Hungary states. Napoleon, next this is Egypt. Okay, the first attack was made by Napoleon in 1797. The first attack was over the Italy in 1797. In 1797, he conquered the Napoleon in 1797. And next, ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು ಅಂದರೆ, ಸೆಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಟು ಕಾನ್ಕರ್ ನೈಬರಿಂಗ್ ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್. ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್, Napoleon conquered the Italy. This is Italy 1799. Next, 1800, second time Italian conquered. Next, 1797 Italy. 17 1799 he conquered Egypt. 1800 second time he conquered Italy. ಅಂದರೆ ಇವನು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ. ಅವನ್ನ ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ಡ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ 1797 Italy, second time 1800, and next before that he captured Egypt in 1799, and next he captured Austria 1805. Okay na, 1805 he captured German also 1806. Okay, these neighboring European countries, which were the neighboring European countries of France. When he ascended throne, Napoleon ascend ಆದಮೇಲೆ the first time, it was one of the most important achievement which was made by Napoleon, conquered states. The first attack Italy was captured in the 1797. These are all neighboring countries. France neighboring countries, Spain, Portugal, Germany, Italy, and next Egypt. These are all the neighboring countries were conquered by Napoleon. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. he set out to conquer neighboring European countries. ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು ಸಿಂಪಲ್, conquer neighboring European countries, which means Napoleon conquered Egypt, Austria, Germany, but he was trying to conquer England, but he did not get England because England was one of the strongest country of Europe. Which were the neighboring European countries of France, German, Austria, Hungary, Spain, Portugal, and Egypt. And next let us continue. Is possessing dynasties and creating kingdoms where he placed a member of his family. Nodri, what are the places which was conquered by Napoleon? Dispossessing of dynasties. ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಡೈನೆಸ್ಟಿಗಳನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದ, ಡಿಸ್ಪೊಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಟ್, ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಇಯರ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೆಪೋಲಿಯನ್ ಕಾನ್ಕರ್ಡ್ ಇಟಲಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಾನ್ಕರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಎಷ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ 1800, 2 times, ಬಟ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ 1800 time. ವಿ ಕಾನ್ಕರ್ಡ್ ದ Italy and captured Italyನ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ, ಡಿಸ್ಪೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಡೈನೆಸ್ಟಿ ಆಫ್ Bourbon dynasty. The Naples and Sicily were ruled by Bourbon dynasty of France. He dispossessing the Bourbon dynasty and throne, creating kingdoms, new kingdom na create ಮಾಡಿದ. Where he placed member of his family. His elder brother. Who is his elder brother? Who was his elder brother? Joseph Bonaparte. And next one is second. He attacked Holland. The first one is Italy. Second one is Holland. 1800. And next he installed his another one elder brother, Louis Bonaparte. And next in Russia, his friend Tsar ruled over the Russia. And next Pope, he was the friend of Napoleon. Okay, here you can understand creating kingdoms where he placed member of his family, which means he installed his two brothers. The first one place is Naples, first one place was Naples, second one place was Holland. The first one elder brother name Joseph Bonaparte, second one elder brother name Louis Bonaparte. Okay, and next one is Napoleon saw his role as a modernizer of Europe. He had a desire to modernize of Europe. He had to introduce all over the world had to ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಒನ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್, ಇಡೀ ವಿಶ್ವ ಒಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜನ್ನು ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ಆಸೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು ಈ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ more industrialization. He wanted to make Europe as a modernizer. He introduced many laws such as protection of private property. What were the achievements of Napoleon? 3 marks question. What were the reformation made by Napoleon as the emperor of France? The first one point is he introduced Napoleon. The first point Napoleon saw his rule as a modernizer of Europe. He wanted to make Europe as a modernizer. Modern lifestyle, modern vehicle style, modern laws, uniform system of law. Okay, ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವನ ಆಸೆ ಇತ್ತು. Introduced many laws such as the protection of private property. He protected the private property. Nobody should interfere the private property. The government should not interfere the private property which belonged to citizen of France. Introduced a private property. And next point is a uniform system of weights and measures provided by the decimal system. There was a decimal system, andre means decimal system andre ತೂಕ ಅಂತ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಜಾರಿಗೆ ತಂದ. He introduced uniform system of weights. Next point is what were the achievements made by Napoleon as the emperor of France? Next point, a uniform system of weights and measures provided by decimal system, ತೂಕದ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಜಾರಿ ತಂದ. Before that, in the French Revolution, there was no revolutionary government also. There was no uniform system of measurement. Different countries, they were following different measures, different weights. But here he protected private property. He implemented uniform system of weights and measures provided by decimal system. Initially, many saw Napoleon as a liberator. All the Europeans who welcomed Napoleon when he was attacking over the another territory, ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಟೆರಿಟರಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ the people Napoleon were welcomed by enemies countries people, the people of enemy country. ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ನೆಪೋಲಿಯನ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಏನೋ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಗುಡ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಅಂತಂದು ಹೇಳಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು, ಅವನನ್ನು ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ಡ್ ನೆಪೋಲಿಯನ್. ಬಟ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಟರ್ನ್ ಇಂಟು ಹಾಸ್ಟಿಲಿಟಿ. ಬಟ್ ನಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಯಾಕೆ ಅವನನ್ನು ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು? ಈ ವಾಸ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಂಜರ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿಬರ್ಟಿ. ಯಾರು? ಹೂ ವಾಸ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಂಜರ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿಬರ್ಟಿ? ನೆಪೋಲಿಯನ್. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯಾಕೆ? ಹಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ದ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕೋಡ್ ಇನ್ 1804. ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕೋಡನ್ನು ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ. ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕೋಡ್, ದ ಎಂಟರ್ France was developed by civil service code. He introduced patriarchal values, but you know that Napoleon also did not provide women rights to women. ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ಹಕ್ಕನ್ನು ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, the women also should be controlled by husband and his father according to him. And next, he introduced the civil code of 1804, civil procedure code and penal code, criminal procedure code, commercial code. And next, he made reform of religion, judicial reforms, religious reforms, educational reforms, and he established French University. These are all the achievements were made by Napoleon. Okay, what were the achievements of Napoleon? What were the reforms made by Napoleon? The first one is Napoleon saw his roles as a modernizer of Europe. Second point, he introduced many laws such as protection of private property, and he implemented a uniform system of weights and measures provided by the decimal system. Okay, these are the achievements of Napoleon. 2 marks question. Next, many saw Napoleon as a liberator. Initially, Napoleon saw as a liberator. The people, they were taking care Napoleon as a liberator, harbinger of liberty, because he provided liberty to all people. That's why he was called as harbinger of liberty in the initial years. But it turned into hostility. ಬರ್ತಾ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಹಾಸ್ಟಿಲಿಟಿ ಟರ್ನ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಪೀಪಲ್ liberator who would bring freedom for the people. Who would bring who would bring freedom for the people? Napoleon. He was called as harbinger of liberty. In the initial years, not this enthusiasm turned into hostility. Freedom of the people, but Napoleon ಆರ್ಮೀಸ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಅವನ್ನ ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಜನ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡಲಿಲ್ಲ? ಇನ್ ದ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ಡ್ ನೆಪೋಲಿಯನ್, ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ದ ನೆಪೋಲಿಯನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಭಾಳ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ. ದೇ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್. ನೆಪೋಲಿಯನ್ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್. ಅವನೊಂದು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ? ನೆಲದ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದ ಖಡ್ಗವನ್ನು ಕತ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಮೇಲೆತ್ತಿದೆ. ನೆಲದ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದ ಕತ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಕತ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಮೇಲೆತ್ತಿದೆ. ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ದ ಸ್ವೋರ್ಡ್ ಫಾಲನ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಐ ಲಿಫ್ಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಸ್ವೋರ್ಡ್, ಸಾರಿ, ದ ಕ್ರೌನ್ ಫಾಲನ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಐ ಲಿಫ್ಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಸ್ವೋರ್ಡ್, ಅಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಾದ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಸೋಲ್ತಾನೆ. ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಡಿಫಿಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಾ. ಹಿ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ದಟ್, ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, 200 ರಾಜರು, ಆಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯನ್ ರಾಜರು ಬಂದು ಸೋಲನ್ನು ಒಪ್ಪಬಹುದು, ಬಟ್ ನಾನು 1 ಇಂಚು ನೆಲವನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಡಲಾರೆ, ನನ್ನ ಸೋಲನ್ನು ನಾನು ಎಂದಿಗೂ ಒಪ್ಪಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನೆಪೋಲಿಯನ್ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಾತನ್ನು ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್. ನೆಪೋಲಿಯನ್ 100 of kings were born in 100 of kings are born in Austrian. They agreed the defeat and they lose their land, but I did not accept any defeat and I did not lose any of my piece of my land, which was referred by Napoleon. There was a great king in the history of Europe, the Napoleon Bonaparte. You just think about it. You just keep it on your mind. The reforms were made by Napoleon, even though we can see in the French government, the reforms of Napoleon. The famous reforms were made by Napoleon. Okay, next, but in the initially he was called as harbinger of liberty, but as a liberator who would bring freedom for the people. But soon the Napoleon armies came to be viewed everywhere as an invading force. Napoleon army came to be viewed, ಏನಂತ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಎವ್ರಿವೇರ್ ಆಸ್ ಅನ್ ಇನ್ವೇಡಿಂಗ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ, ಆಕ್ರಮಣಕಾರರಾಗಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ವೈ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಟು ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಜನರ ಕೈಗೆ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ರೈಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನೆಪೋಲಿಯನ್ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್. ದಿಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್, ದೇ ವರ್ ವೆರಿ ಡಿಸಪಾಯಿಂಟೆಡ್ about Napoleon administration, in the hand of Napoleon administration. And next, he was finally defeated. Not next, Napoleon armies came to be viewed as a, ಏನಂತ ಕಾಣ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು? armies came to be viewed everywhere as an invading force. He was finally defeated. Napoleon, when was defeated? Napoleon was defeated in 1815. Which battle? Waterloo battle. One more question. Which war ended the Napoleon? The battle of Waterloo. When was Napoleon ended? 1815. Who defeated the Napoleon? One side Napoleon versus Austria. There was a 4 united European. There was a 4 European countries: Austria, Russia, England, and next one is Austria, Russia, England. Next one is Prussia. Austria, Russia, England, Prussia. These 4 members defeated the Napoleon in 1815. When was Napoleon defeated by 4 united groups of Europe? 1815. Which battle? Battle of Waterloo in 1815. Many of his measures that carried the revolutionary ideas of liberty and moral laws to others part of Europe. Nodri, his measures that carried the revolutionary ideas, ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ we can see today also revolutionary, which carried ideas of liberty, moral laws to other parts of Europe. These are all the measures, whatever measures were introduced by Napoleon, this carried out of France to other countries of Europe had an impact of people long after Napoleon had left. Notary, these are all laws, liberty, and modern laws who were impacted on long after Napoleon had left. The first one is revolutionary ideas of liberty, modern laws, other parts of Europe had an impact on people long after Napoleon had left. Napoleon ಹೋದ್ರು ಕೂಡ, even though Napoleon had left, his liberty, the reform of liberty, the reform of ideas of liberty, the reform of new laws, the spread across the European continent. Okay, the ideas of liberty and democratic rights were most important legacy of the French Revolution. Which were the most important legacies of French Revolution? Ideas of liberty and democratic rights. These spread from France to the rest of the Europe during 19th century. This spread, which spread? The first one is liberty and democratic rights. Spread across the European countries, 19th century, where feudal system were abolished. Feudal system were abolished. Colonized people reworked the idea of freedom from bondage into their movements to create a sovereign nation state. Colonized people, which means the people they were controlled by another country. They were called as colonized people. Reworked the idea of freedom. They were protesting against the another country in order to getting of idea of freedom from bondage into their movements to create sovereign nation state. To create nation state, the country which is not controlled by another country, that is called sovereign nation country. And next, this was influenced to the Tipu Sultan and Raja Ram Mohan Roy are two example of two individuals. Tipu Sultan, he was trying to getting the support from Napoleon. That's why he sent an ambassador to the Napoleon court, but Napoleon was busy with the attack of Egypt. He could not support to Tipu Sultan. Tipu Sultan support ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. when 4th Anglo-Mysore War 1799 between British and Tipu Sultan, but Napoleon could not support him because he was busy with the Egypt attack. Okay, and Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Tipu Sultan henge idu revolution, democratic and liberty henge, bondage labor ivella henge effect adu, because Tipu Sultan also waged war against the company, East India Company, British. Raja Ram Mohan also two examples of individuals. Raja Ram Mohan also, he opposed the superstitions. He liked the new uniform law which was made by Napoleon. Two examples of individuals who responded to the ideas of coming from revolutionary France. ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು? ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡೆಡ್ ದ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ರೆವಲ್ಯೂಷನರಿ ಫ್ರಾನ್ಸ್. ಇವೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಮುಂದೆ ರೆವಲ್ಯೂಷನರಿ ಫ್ರಾನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಹೂ ಆರ್ ದೇ? ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಾಜಾರಾಮ್ ಮೋಹನ್ ರಾಯ್. Okay, what we have discussed in this class? We have discussed, the first one is the revolutionary and everyday life. Next one is conclusion with Napoleon Bonaparte and his reforms. Okay, I hope you have understood. Thank you.